I used to believe that change must be big and fast. I thought that if I wanted a better life, I had to wake up early, work harder, and push myself every day. I watched many videos about success. I read stories about people who changed their lives in a short time. They woke up at 5 in the morning, studied for hours, exercised every day, and never felt tired. When I looked at my own life, I felt small and slow. I tried to copy them, but I failed again and again. There was a time when my days felt the same. I woke up, did my work, finished my tasks, and went to sleep. Nothing was very bad, but nothing was very exciting either. I felt tired inside, even when my body was resting. I often asked myself, is this all? I wanted change, but I did not know how to start. Every time I tried to do too much, I stopped after a few days. Then I felt disappointed in myself. One evening, after a long day, I sat alone in my room. The lights were soft, the room was quiet. I did not feel sad, but I did not feel happy either. I felt empty. I picked up my phone and opened a notebook app. I wanted to write something, but I did not know what. I stared at the screen for a long time. Then I wrote one simple sentence. Today, I am tired. That was all, just one sentence. I did not try to fix my life that night. I did not make big plans. I did not promise myself anything. I only wrote one honest sentence. For some reason, that small action felt calm. It did not change my life, but it changed how I felt in that moment. I closed the app and went to sleep. The next day, I woke up and remembered what I wrote. I opened the notebook again and wrote another sentence. Today, I feel a little better. It was not a big difference, but it was real. I did not force myself to write more. I stopped there. This became a quiet habit. Every day, I wrote 1 or 2 simple sentences. Sometimes I wrote about my feelings. Sometimes I wrote about small things I noticed. A warm cup of tea, a quiet street, a kind word from someone. I did not try to write well. I only tried to write honestly. Slowly, something changed inside me. I started to notice my days more clearly. I realized that my life was not empty. It was just quiet. And in that quiet space, many small things were waiting to be seen. There was a morning when I walked outside and felt the air on my face. I noticed how the light touched the buildings. I heard footsteps behind me and birds above me. Before, I would not notice these things. My mind was always busy, thinking about the next task or the next worry. But now, I walked more slowly. I paid attention. I also started to listen to myself more. When I felt tired, I rested without guilt. When I felt motivated, I worked without pressure. I stopped asking myself why I was not like other people. I stopped comparing my speed to theirs. I understood that my life had its own rhythm. There was a time when I felt afraid of being slow. I thought slow meant weak. But I learned that slow can be deep. When you move slowly, you see more, you feel more, you understand more. I did not change my job. I did not move to a new place. My life on the outside stayed almost the same, but my life on the inside became different. I felt less angry with myself. I spoke more gently to my own heart. When I made mistakes, I did not punish myself. I learned from them and moved on. One day, a friend asked me, "How are you these days?" I paused before answering. Before, I would say, "I'm fine," even when I was not. But that day, I said, "I am learning to be okay." It felt strange, but it felt true. I realized that I did not need to become a new person. I only needed to become more honest. Honest about my limits. Honest about my needs. Honest about my feelings. There were days when I did nothing special. I worked, ate, and slept. But I no longer felt like those days were wasted. I understood that rest is also part of living. Silence is also part of growth. Sometimes I looked back at the person I was before. That person was not lazy or weak. That person was tired and did not know how to rest. That person wanted to change but did not know how to start gently. Now, when I feel lost, I return to small things. I write one sentence. I take one deep breath. I do one simple task with care. I do not rush to fix everything. I trust that small steps, done with kindness, will lead me forward. I learned that life does not change in one big moment. It changes in many small, quiet moments that we often ignore. A moment when you choose to rest. A moment when you speak kindly to yourself. A moment when you notice something beautiful in an ordinary day. I no longer chase a perfect life. I build a real one. A life that includes tired days and hopeful days. A life where I am allowed to move slowly. A life where I listen more than I push. I didn't change my life in one day. I changed it in small moments, one honest sentence at a time. And that is enough.